Minister's statement clarifies advisor's role in China spy case. In a recent development, the Education Secretary has addressed concerns regarding the involvement of a key security advisor in the collapsed case against two men accused of spying for China. The statement clarifies that the advisor, Jonathan Powell, had no role in the substance or evidence of the case, contrary to suggestions by the Conservatives. The Conservatives had alleged that Powell, the Prime Minister's national security advisor, played a part in withholding evidence that prosecutors deemed necessary for securing convictions. However, Bridget Phillipson assured the public that Powell did not engage in discussions related to the case's substance or evidence. The charges against Christopher Cash and Christopher Berry, who deny the allegations, were dropped last month, sparking criticism from ministers and MPs. The Crown Prosecution Service is now tasked with explaining the reasons behind the failed prosecution. Downing Street initially denied any involvement of ministers in the case's collapse. However, a rare intervention by the Director of Public Prosecutions, Stephen Parkinson, revealed that the trial's failure was due to the government's lack of evidence regarding China's status as a national security threat. The Conservatives have responded by submitting an urgent question in Parliament, demanding that ministers address MPs on Monday to clarify the reasons behind the trial's collapse. They suspect that Powell, known for his pursuit of closer relations with Beijing, may have failed to provide the required evidence to the CPS. Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp has called for an urgent explanation from ministers regarding their decision not to disclose extensive information demonstrating China's threat to national security during the 2021 to 2023 period. He suggests that Powell may have been behind this decision and calls for his resignation. The Prime Minister has emphasized that the government's prosecution must be based on the circumstances at the time of the alleged offense, focusing on the Tory government's policy during that period. Former Conservative ministers and advisors have also weighed in, stating that there was no official designation of China's threat status, and that a document containing hundreds of examples of Chinese activity posing a threat could have been used as evidence. Public statements from former MI5 head Ken McCallum further support the argument that China posed a significant espionage threat. The Liberal Democrats have criticized the government's approach to China, warning that it endangers national security. They have called for the government to block the planning application for a new Chinese embassy in London, citing potential risks to critical data connections. The case, which involved charges under the Official Secrets Act, was brought against former parliamentary researchers Christopher Cash and Christopher Berry in April 2024, during the Conservative government's tenure. The charges related to the gathering and provision of information prejudicial to the state's safety and interests between December 2021 and February 2023.